Welcome back, my friend. I'm so glad you passed this way again. I saved you a space on this old park bench so we can enjoy each other's company and share the various experiences of our lives. As you can see, we have a visitor today. A visitor who has a story to tell. This story concerns a computer mouse and his obsession. It is a story indeed, but more than that, it is a whisper to our souls. This is how the story begins.
On the second floor of the Franklin building in Suite 200, there lived a little gray computer mouse. By the looks of him, he looked like any normal mouse you'd find connected to a computer. A mouse who carried 2 click buttons on his back and swung a long gray tail. His oblong body, sturdy and smooth, glided over office terrains as effortlessly as a bar of soap across a wet tub. In the 2 years he had been part of the Bassat Insurance Company, no human had ever complained about him or asked for a replacement. Unlike pens that refused to release their ink just out of spite, or staplers that stayed up too late and kept missing their mark, he was a mouse upon which everyone could rely. "He's a responsible co-worker," said the keyboard on several occasions. "I see a great future for him," said the square monitor. "I bet he'll make Employee of the Month in no time," said the computer tower. "They made an excellent choice when picking him from the catalog," said an office chair. All the positive things said about the mouse were true. They were true, that is, until a woman's fruity-scented hand touched him one Monday morning, making him dizzy with delight. Until then, all the other hands that pressed upon him were heavy and sweaty, dull and lifeless. Nothing in comparison to the light and creamy skin that now embraced his body and that sent a vibrant and euphoric energy into every click. The woman's hand seemed to have the natural ability to swerve him into the perfect zone where he and the computer could make effective and productive interchanges throughout the day. It goes without saying, the mouse fell in love with the woman's hand the very first day she touched him, his love increasing with every new encounter. Feeling the hand's caresses, smelling her skin and absorbing her spirit were experiences he looked forward to every day. "How did I get so lucky?" said the mouse, peering over the edge of the desk during the woman's 5th coffee break. "Concentrate on work," said the keyboard. "I'm already feeling a disconnection between us," said the monitor. "Don't get us in trouble." "You honestly don't feel what I'm feeling," said the mouse. "I wish I could leap off this desk and glide after her." "And then what?" said the computer tower. "She'll think you're a creep and kick you to the side." "I can't just sit here and do nothing," said the mouse. "I've already done nothing for 5 business days. I swear if I'm not with her 24 hours a day, I might as well fall into the wastebasket and never be seen again." You can imagine how painful it felt for the mouse during the weekend. Living without the woman's hand drove him across the desk with no sense of direction, something he had never done before. He zigzagged to the right and zigzagged to the left, stretching his tail as far as it would go. With a click and a clack, he bounced off the edge of the desk and dangled helplessly until the cleaning crew put him back in place on Sunday night. He then stayed up until dawn, disrupting the slumber of his tired neighbors with 1,000 clickety-clickety clacks. "You belong to the Bassat Insurance Company," said the computer tower, fed up with the noise. "Don't you forget that. No employee can ever take you out of the office." "It's happened lots of times," said the mouse. "Pens and notepads are always disappearing." "Yes," said the keyboard, "but they don't go voluntarily." "And some of them return telling horror stories," said the stapler. "How slobbering creatures chew on their bodies, or how they are tossed into dark drawers and forgotten for months." "And you still haven't mentioned one important issue," said the monitor. "So far your focus has been on the woman's hand. What are you going to do with the rest of her? Ignore her voice, ignore her life, ignore her feelings?" "She'll learn to appreciate me," said the mouse. "I'll become just another part of her body." "You are breaking the great commandment," said the computer tower. "Thou shalt not love an employee more than the company. That includes an employee's hand." "Should I spell it out for him?" said the keyboard. "No need," said the computer tower. "He knows what we mean, and what we mean to say is—" "Don't get attached," said the mouse's office mates. Angrily, the mouse clicked and clacked to drown out their negative vibes. "Nothing big or small will make me let her go. I am going to do everything possible to have her permanently wrapped around my heart, and neither you nor any commandment will stop me." His 3 office mates did not speak to him for the rest of the day. It did not matter. They could ignore him all they wanted. If they wanted to spend their Monday morning focused on their boring jobs, so be it. His Monday morning began with glorious rays of light filtering through the window blinds, preparing him for an even greater splendor. The woman's palm exuded a pink sheen as it gently rested on his back. Completely enthralled with the luscious tissue that covered him, he lost connection with the monitor. His lack of concentration displayed itself for all to see. His pointer moved up and down and sideways and spiraled out of control and disappeared from the screen. When it reappeared, his pointer got stuck in place and refused to budge. The mouse remained unfocused the whole day, which made the woman so furious she banged her hand against him several times. She lifted him and yanked him in every angle imaginable. "This stupid mouse is driving me crazy," shouted the woman. "I haven't gotten any work done today. Tomorrow I'm asking for a new one because I've had it with this one. I've really had it." The woman departed from her desk without even taking the time to shut down the computer. And due to the mouse's nervous movement, the screen did not lock. "You see what you get when you act like an idiot?" said the monitor when all the employees had gone home. "You get replaced." "We tried to warn him," said the computer tower. "We told him not to get attached, to focus on work." "Maybe he's learned his lesson," said the stapler. "If he's lucky, he'll get a second chance." "It has nothing to do with luck," said the mouse. "It is all about love. Love will keep us together." That night, when every object in the office sank into a deep sleep, the mouse quietly clicked out a message to his beloved hand. After several false starts and a series of deletes, he settled on the following: "My dearest love, I die every night when I am away from you. I sit in the darkness as one alone in a box, waiting for your touch. Only your touch can revive me. So please reach for me. Rest your palm on my heart every morning, so you may feel it beating only for you. In return, I offer you all my love and my whole life. Please take me as your own." Early the next morning, the mouse felt jittery and could barely stay still. "What is this nonsense? Please take me as your own," said the monitor, now fully awake. "I'm ashamed to display such disloyalty." "I can delete the words if you'd like," said the keyboard. "You delete anything and I will pounce on you," said the mouse. "Let him make a fool of himself," said the computer tower. The woman will never accept his offer. She needs her hand more than he does." The mouse wished he could use his tail to strangle the computer tower and silence him forever. But he had to save his energy for when the woman showed up, screamed with excitement, and united her hand to his body for all eternity. When the woman finally arrived, she put down her purse, froze, and placed her index finger on her temple. "Did someone sign onto my computer?" said the woman, shifting her eyes from right to left. "Or did I forget to sign off?" She sat down, relaxed her hand over the mouse, and stared into the monitor. "This is it," thought the mouse. "This is where my new life begins." The woman's cheeks turned red as her hand trembled and moistened over the mouse. She smiled and scanned her surrounding to see if someone was watching her. "I'm the one you're looking for," said the mouse, but the woman could not hear him. Instead, she picked up the phone receiver and called a co-worker. "Do you know if Paco from IT is single?" asked the woman. "And did you happen to see him by my desk earlier this morning?" The mouse feverishly clicked out the truth. Clickety, 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 clack. Paco was nowhere near her desk. The faithful mouse wrote the note, not stupid cigarette breath-smelling Paco. As quickly as the mouse typed words onto the screen, the keyboard, now awake, deleted them. "You're going to make me lose her," said the mouse. "You were never hers," said the computer tower. "You belong to the company." "I'm tired of hearing about this dumb old company," shouted the mouse. "I'm free to go with whomever I wish, and neither you nor this oppressive company can stop me." At lunchtime, with the woman away from the desk, the mouse did his best to free himself from the tyrannical computer, but his tail did not break loose. Stuck to his domineering counterpart, he had to endure the worst spectacle of his life. That afternoon, a pugged-nosed Paco, while sitting next to the mouse, engaged in a flirtatious conversation with the equally flirtatious woman. Neither one of the humans had any regards to the mouse's presence or feelings. "So is it true that your heart beats only for me?" said the woman, twirling a strand of her auburn hair. "Why, of course," said Paco. "I think about you all the time." "I'm surprised he even thinks," said the mouse. "How come you haven't said anything before?" said the woman, patting his knee. "I always assumed someone as gorgeous as you was already seeing someone," said Paco, latching onto her hand. "That fool better get back," said the mouse, ready to attack. "Let's just say I haven't been lucky enough to meet the right guy," said the woman. "I think your luck is about to change," said Paco. "How about dinner tonight?" "Only if you're paying," said the woman, grinning. Paco then did a nasty, disgusting thing. He took the woman's right hand, the hand that rightfully belonged to the mouse, lifted it to his repulsive lips, and kissed it. How dare this fool kiss the love of his life? If the mouse were free, he would have plunged into the man's chest and pierced the man's heart. But he told himself to stay calm, to channel his energy into coming up with ways on how to win back the woman's hand. The rest of the day, he concentrated on his work and moved in whatever direction his darling desired. "Look on the bright side," said the stapler when the woman had gone for the day. "She forgot all about getting a replacement." "Oh, she got a replacement, all right," said the mouse. "Paco, the IT guy. We've all felt his slimy and unwashed hands. She deserves way better. She deserves me."
That evening, when the office lights turned off and the cleaning crew had gone home, as a way of making peace, the mouse consulted the computer tower with the following words. "You are smarter than everyone in the office. You know the minds of humans inside and out. They consult you every day and you respond in a matter of milliseconds. I am certain you know the answers to all the world's problems. So that is why I come to you tonight, asking for your help."
"If this is about that hand of yours," said the computer tower, "I would rather not answer."
"All I need to know," said the mouse, "is how to keep that terrible man away from the love of my life."
Before the computer tower could answer, a young stapler remover hissed and said, "You want me to bite him? I will if that's what you want, right where it counts." The stapler remover snapped his metal fangs together, and every object on the desk burst out in laughter. "You want me to punch holes in his pants," said a three-hole puncher. "I know exactly how to embarrass him so he'll dash out of the office crying like a baby." "No one will do anything to harm the man," said the computer tower. "It's against company policy. My suggestion for you, little mouse, is to forget about the woman's hand. It's obvious she has found another. Believe me, there will be more in the future, maybe even better." "That's impossible," said the mouse. "What can be better than perfection?" "The computer is right as always," said the ceiling tiles. "I see things you cannot see. That woman you speak so highly about offers her hand to anyone willing to take it." The mouse clicked angrily and shouted, "Don't ever slander her reputation again. She's glorious and innocent. She's the center of my life." "I'm really ashamed of you," said the computer tower, fanning out his disappointment. "Your obsession with this hand has led you to be unreasonably stubborn. I can't wait for the technicians to disconnect you and toss you in the office graveyard." "Say whatever you want," said the mouse. "I don't care. The woman's hand will be mine and mine alone, with or without your help." In the early morning hours, when all were sleeping, the mouse remembered stories told around the office, stories about the powerful wizard that dwelled in the outer reaches of cyberspace. The wizard was said to have power over humans, power over destiny. Every object in the office knew how to summon the wizard, but no one dared call him forth, for fear of awakening the cyber demons that wreak havoc on the global society. If no one else had ever called for the wizard, that meant it was too dangerous or a made-up story. He tried to click the story out of his mind, but he kept seeing Paco's waxy lips pressed against the love of his life. When he envisioned a wedding ring on her finger, that was when he knew he had no choice but to whisper the magical conjuration, "Arise from your matrix abode. Arise from your program's deep root. Download, great wizard, download, and grant my wish before the morning reboot." Within seconds, a wizard with a sparkling, pointy purple hat and a glittering waving wand appeared on the monitor's black screen. As he floated in a golden mist, the wizard said, "How may I serve you, little mouse?" "You're actually real," said the mouse, mesmerized. "Now that you're here, I don't know what to say." "Just speak your heart's desire," said the wizard. "My heart's desire?" said the mouse. "Yes, my heart's desire. I desire that you connect me forever to a woman's hand, her hand being the purpose of my existence." "Have you given thought to what you are asking?" said the wizard. "Humans are not like you. They are feeble and finicky and corrode very easily." None of that matters, said the mouse. I'm willing to face any hardship, just name your price. I ask only that you keep your word, said the wizard, that you stay with this hand and never part from it. I promise that I will never ever part from the woman's hand for as long as I exist, said the mouse. Very well, said the wizard, floating out of the screen and hovering over the mouse. Raising his wand, he spoke an indescribable language. 3 times he tapped the mouse's body, sending a surge of energy that caused the mouse to click and swerve uncontrollably. When the mouse stopped moving, the wizard said, "In the moment that she touches you, you will be attached to her, forever and ever and ever and ever." The wizard drifted back into the computer screen, farther and farther away, until he disappeared into the darkness, leaving a message that read, "It is now safe to turn off your computer." This was his way of fooling all the cyber demons into believing the door to the human world was now shut. The mouse could not sleep the rest of the morning. Swerving nervously from side to side irritated the blue pad beneath him. His constant clicking awoke his office mates, who immediately told him to be quiet and to sit still. Soon the office lights would turn on, and that hand of his would arrive. To taunt him, the keyboard said, "Maybe the woman could tell you about her dinner with Paco." "Maybe his scent will still be on her hand," said the monitor. "Maybe you both should shut up and observe," said the mouse. "What you are about to see will be recounted by the whole company for generations to come." "Why would you say such a thing?" said the computer tower. "What did you do last night? You did something because I suddenly don't feel so well." "Just pay attention," said the mouse, "and witness the power of my love." The mouse braced himself upon seeing the woman approach her desk with a cup of coffee and a breakfast taco. He shivered as she put her small black purse in her drawer and checked her phone messages. He clicked nervously when she sat down, adjusted her sweater, and twisted her chair to face her terminal. Immediately the mouse felt the delicate, beautiful hand all over his oblong body. Being in the hand's grip was pure heaven. As he clung to this heaven, a powerful force shot through his tail and through his body. An intense light flashed, and a terrible heat welded him to the palm of the woman's hand. Terrified, the woman jumped from her chair, spilled her coffee over the keyboard, and screamed and tried to shake him off. "Help me!" she cried. "Somebody help me!" Co-workers ran to her assistance. As she screamed hysterically, they did their best to calm her down. They did their best to understand her situation. "My mouse!" she kept yelling. "My mouse!" "I think she saw a mouse," said a heavy man. "No, my mouse!" she shouted, pointing to the computer mouse. "What about your mouse?" asked a tiny brown woman. "Can't you see? It's stuck to my hand. I can't shake it off." With widened eyes and shaking heads, the co-workers witnessed how the mouse did not fall from her hand, no matter how hard she shook it. Nevertheless, men took turns yanking on the mouse with no success. Instead, they left her hand red and pulsating with pain. Someone must have called the IT department because Paco showed up. "I'm so glad you're here," said the woman, wiping sweat from her forehead. "You're probably the only one who can help me." "Did I hear correctly," said Paco, examining her hand, "that your mouse somehow got glued to your skin?" "It's not glue that's uniting us, you idiot," said the mouse. "It's love." "I don't know what it is," shouted the woman, Just get it off me." Paco nodded and disconnected the mouse's tail from the computer. Paco tugged on the mouse's body and said, "Does that hurt?" "We already tried that," said the heavy man. "It's no use." "I'm thinking it's super glue," said the tiny brown woman. "You got any enemies?" The woman shook her head. "None that would pull a prank as childish as this one." Paco examined the woman's hand more closely. "Let's see you come between us now," said the mouse. "The melding of flesh and mouse is way too perfect to be super glue," concluded Paco. "But you can take it off, right?" said the woman. "Tell me you can take it off." "We can try prying it off," said a man with glasses. "We'd tear her skin apart," said Paco. "I don't care," said the woman in tears. "Just take it off of me. Do whatever it takes." The mouse cried out in pain when Paco cut off his tail. But to the mouse's surprise, the pain lasted only a few seconds. Maybe the lack of pain was part of the magic. So when Paco pulled out a flathead screwdriver, the mouse shrugged it off. "Bring it on," said the mouse. "There's nothing you can do to hurt me." Just as Paco poked the screwdriver into the mouse's underbelly, a heavy-set woman suddenly appeared and intervened, saying, "Hold on there. Our insurance does not cover mouse removals. What if you cut an artery and we get blood all over the carpet? We better call EMS." "Please don't call EMS," said the woman, turning red. "I'll get my friend to drive me to the hospital." "You sure about this?" said the heavy-set woman. "Let me take you," said Paco. "No," said the woman, with mascara now streaming down her cheeks. "I'll be okay. Just let me get by." She hid her right hand in her purse as a crowd of people moved aside to let her pass. Before being stuffed into the purse, the mouse addressed his fellow office mates one last time. "I can't adequately describe the beautiful feeling of being with the one you love. I hope all of you get to experience this feeling someday. All praise and honor to the wizard for making my wish come true." "I knew it," said the computer tower. "I knew you called on him. That's why I feel sick. Hadn't you heard the stories? Hadn't you heard all the warnings? No one calls him for a reason. Thanks to your stupid obsession, the demons are out on the prowl. And they will soon devour me, and not just me, maybe the whole company." In the darkness of the purse, the mouse felt no guilt for having released the demons. Maybe the lack of guilt was part of the magic. He instead celebrated his oneness with the woman's hand, clicking out messages of love. "Oh, clickety, oh, clackety, oh, clickety-clackety." The hand must have been too numb to feel the messages. She offered no response. Yet the mouse kept on clicking and clicking and clicking until he believed the hand totally and eternally loved him in return. Unfortunately for the mouse, he spent numerous mornings banged against counters, tables, and walls. There were whole afternoons he endured curses and screams. On some nights, he even tolerated jagged blades digging into his body. None of these experiences, however, diminished his love for the hand. His love grew stronger with every one of the woman's rejections. He soon realized that for the woman to accept the union between hand and mouse, she needed tremendous amounts of love, a love that only he could give. "I feel like a freak," said the woman sitting in front of a hand specialist. "I can't go through life with this thing attached. There has to be something you can do to remove it." The doctor explained. "According to the X-rays and sonogram, it's impossible to separate your hand from the mouse without destroying nerves and arteries. "Please don't say that," said the woman. "Maybe you can melt it off. Maybe you can sand it off." "We either have to remove your hand completely," said the doctor, "or wait and see if the mouse will come off on its own." "I'm never coming off," said the mouse, "so you can forget that option." After visiting several doctors and receiving no acceptable solutions, the woman shut herself up in her apartment and shunned most of her family and friends, spending most of her day watching talk shows. She ignored phone calls and texts, even from Paco, who must have called 100 times. A sign on her front door declared, "No solicitors and no reporters." Though she spent hours scrolling through her social media accounts, she never posted likes or emojis. She kept her blinds closed and rarely peeked out her window for sunlight. She became a bona fide hermit, subsisting on whatever her mother or best friend brought her to eat. "You don't have to do this," said the woman one night. "My mother can bring me food." "Don't worry about it," said her best friend. "I got plenty of extra time now that the company shut down." "Shut down?" said the woman, hiding the mouse under the table and struggling to eat a salad with her left hand. "What do you mean?" "You didn't hear?" said her friend. "Some major virus infected all the systems. We got hit with a huge data breach of client information, so here I am, out of work." The mouse felt no remorse for the company, or for his office mates who were probably now dumped in the office graveyard. Maybe the lack of remorse was part of the magic. As the days and nights passed in the softly lit apartment, the mouse could not help but to feel pity for the woman who fought against destiny, the woman who could not accept his union with her hand. Why couldn't she embrace reality? The mouse was here to stay, and they both had to share the hand if they wanted to live in peace. Every time the woman shouted, "I hate you, you stupid mouse," he would tenderly reply, "My love is stronger than your hate." When she cried out in the darkness of her room, "Why did you ever come into my life?" he would answer, "To love your hand for all eternity." The mouse believed that within the anger residing in the woman's palm, there lived an imprisoned love waiting to be freed. In time, he would liberate that love. In time, that love would inspire the woman to publicly celebrate the union of hand and mouse. He just had to be patient. The patient mouse gains the whole world. His whole world was now wrapped around his body, and he was happy, the happiest he could be. The woman clearly did not share the same feeling. One day the woman got drunk, tipping over, drooling drunk. She uttered nonsense such as, "I'm gonna cut you off, you stupid mouse, I'm gonna do it. Don't think I won't." With a karate chop to her right wrist, she slurred, "Bam, just like that. Then I'll be free from you forever." Accustomed to her angry babble, the mouse paid no attention to the woman. She was drunk and did not know what she was saying. But the very next evening, her best friend escorted her out of the apartment and into a moving vehicle. The mouse could not see where they were going, but when the car door opened, he saw rows and rows of tall and dark trees. He heard leaves crunching and crickets chirping as they walked deeper into the woods. "At last," thought the mouse, "she's out in public. She's finally accepting my union with her hand." 15 minutes into the woods, they met a short brown man with shaggy silver hair and a long white beard. He carried a duffel bag and a flashlight. "Is it true?" asked the man, shining a blinding light on the mouse. "Yes," answered the best friend, nudging the flashlight away. Leave her alone. Don't scare her more than she already is." "Sorry," said the man. "Just curious. Didn't think this kind of magic existed anymore." "Magic?" said the woman, confused. "Why did he just say magic?" "What did you think this was?" said the man. "Are you saying someone cast a curse on me?" said the woman. "That's usually the way these things work," said the man, shining his light again. "Who would do such a thing?" said the woman. "She has no enemies," added the best friend. "None that come to mind." "Are you able to break the spell?" said the woman. "I mean, that's why you are here, isn't it?" "I am here to give it my best shot," said the man. With that, the man brought out a wooden wand and raised it over the woman's hand. He uttered an incantation in a strange language. Heat pulsated in the palm of the hand, and the mouse slightly nudged out of place. But the mouse fought against the magic, and clung with all his might to his beloved hand. The man intensified the power of his voice as the mouse intensified his resistance. Suddenly the tip of the wand sparked a flame, and soon the whole wand was consumed in fire. The man threw down the wand and stomped on it with his boot until only ashes remained. "You almost had it," said the woman. "I could feel it." "The magic is too strong," said the man, "almost as if powered by the whole wide world." "Try again," said the woman. "I need you to try again." "Sorry," said the man. "I really wish I could. I gave it my best shot." "Don't you have another wand somewhere?" said the woman, tearing up. "I need you to please try again." "Did you bring the other things I asked for?" said the best friend. The man nodded. He showed her the contents of the bag: morphine, a tourniquet, a blowtorch, towels, and a small axe. "There has to be another way," said the woman, trembling. "I don't want to lose my hand." "Not with this kind of magic," said the man. "I'm afraid we have no other choice if you want to be free." "Then get it over with," said the woman. "I can't go another day living this way." The woman squeezed her eyes shut as the man injected morphine into her lower arm. She looked down at the mouse one last time and whispered contentedly, "I am now free. Completely free." The mouse did not know what the woman meant. He also did not understand why the man lay the woman on her back and the back of her hand on a hard, flat rock. Why did the man take out an axe and pour liquid all over the blade? Why did the best friend shift all her weight on the woman's body? Answers to his questions came without warning. The man forcefully plunged the axe into the woman's wrist, causing blood to splatter in every direction. Both women screamed, their clothes now sprinkled in the hot red substance. The man pounded the wrist again, this time severing the hand completely from the woman's body. Convulsing, the woman went into shock and lost consciousness. She did not see the torch and the fire that burned her wound shut. But the mouse saw everything. He and the hand had fallen to the ground, landing with the hand on top. He saw the man toss the blowtorch to the side and wrap the wrist in a tourniquet while the best friend vomited nearby. At first, the mouse was so stunned, no thoughts ran through his mind. Then he thought, how could anyone be so crazy and sick to do such a thing? The woman needed serious help. She needed to be in a hospital. It was not until after the best friend and the man carried the woman away, and the woods were dark and still, that the mouse fully comprehended the blessed reality that surrounded him. He and his beloved hand were still together. In fact, their bond now felt stronger. Nothing could separate them, not even butchery and hatred. At last, he and his darling would spend the rest of eternity alone in the woods, away from the woman's physical and verbal abuse. This turned out to be the happiest day of his life. For 3 days, the mouse lived in ecstasy, cut off from all the anger and pain once transmitted from the woman's heart. "Isn't this such a sweet life?" said the mouse, carrying his beloved on his back. "The both of us together, basking in the sun, absorbing fresh air. At least we're not stuck in some office, forced to follow company rules, forced to work like slaves. Let's promise to stay like this forever." On the 4th day, however, his beloved hand began to change. Maybe she was always changing, but he failed to notice. Now the transformation was undeniable. The hand no longer possessed a smooth texture and sweet scent. It now had a rough, leathery surface and exuded a repulsive stench. "What's wrong, my poor darling?" clicked the mouse. "You feel cold and sick. I am certain it is because you miss the woman, and that's okay. Soon you will get over her and you will return to your normal, beautiful self." Over the next few days, the mouse valiantly clicked away the numerous buzzing and crawling insects that came to taste the hand's flesh. But his attempts were useless. There were too many. More horrifying than the buzzing and crawling insects were the dozens of ugly, squirming maggots eating away the beauty of his beloved hand. "Leave her alone!" screamed the mouse. "She belongs to me and to no one else." When the maggots had eaten away most of the hand's skin, the mouse called for the wizard to break the spell. "I made a terrible mistake," cried the mouse. "Take pity and free me." The wizard's voice seeped into the darkness of the woods and sent shivers through his body. "You will be attached to her, forever and ever and ever and ever." Filled with a sudden hatred, the mouse uttered words he thought he would never say. "Get off of me, you heavy and disgusting thing." He clicked ferociously, clickety, 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 trying to knock the hand off his body. The hand did not budge and remained fixed to his back. "What I would give to have never met this hand and become attached to her," said the mouse. "What I would give to return to the company and to my fellow office mates." He recalled what the woman's best friend had said. The company had been devoured by cyber demons, and it was all his fault. Because of his unhealthy obsession, his office mates were now stacked in a graveyard or tossed into waste baskets. Suddenly there was no magic that could stop the pain, the guilt, and the remorse clicking endlessly through his mind. The wizard never showed up, and the spell was never broken. The mouse was forced to stay true to his word. He never ever parted from the woman's hand for as long as he existed. And so one day, dear friend, when you venture into the woods for a hike, you may trample over leaves and twigs and unexpectedly discover huge spots of dry blood. Something, perhaps a cricket's chirp, perhaps a frog's croak, may tell you to look to your left and see for yourself. There is a little gray mouse who now lives eternally encaged in the hard, ugly bones of the woman's right hand. Thank you once again for sharing this time with me. May the rest of your day be filled with blessings. If a tale or a poem speaks to you from this channel, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's walk this road together, one whisper at a time.